During the late winter of Bobby's first semester of ninth grade at Georgetown Prep, the winter of 1967, when he was about to turn 14, his father began to seriously consider throwing his hat in the ring for the presidency of the United States. The election was just a year away. It was little more than 4 years since his brother John had been assassinated, and the New York senator's close advisors, such as Ted Sorensen and Arthur Schlesinger Jr., were fearful it could happen again. RFK was being warned to stay out of the race, and leading that refrain was his even more fearful brother Ted, who had lost one brother to bullets and didn't want to lose another. As Bobby's close cousin, Christopher Kennedy Lawford, then 13, a year younger than Bobby, observed years later, RFK's decision to run invoked a level of fear in the family, especially in my mother, Patricia Kennedy, who was closest to him in age and experience. I could feel it and see it in her face. Whenever the campaign came up, she would get this tightness around her, like she was trying to ward something off. On the other side, though, was Ethel Kennedy, then the mother of 10. Ethel was convinced RFK could win, and was cheerleading the push for him to announce. Without any question, RFK's political advisor Fred Dutton told the Chicago Tribune Ethel was a major factor. Her brother Jim Skakel, a staunch Republican who, like the rest of the Skakels, disliked the Kennedys intensely, agreed, observing years later, "The crowds, the press, the hyperstate. It was as bad as cocaine. Ethel liked the fast lane. You could not debate with her. There was no two-way street." Two historic events happened on Saturday, March 16, 1968. In Vietnam, where the war was raging, a young Army officer by the name of William L. Calley, Jr., a lieutenant in Charlie Company, 11th Brigade, American Division, entered the village of My Lai with orders to let the civilians go free and kill the Viet Cong soldiers of the 48th Battalion and their sympathizers. Instead, some 500 civilians, unarmed men, women, and children, were murdered. The My Lai massacre, as it came to be known, would be exposed by the journalist Seymour Hersh. But on that same Saturday, when RFK announced for the presidency, he and the rest of the world were still unaware of the slaughter. The war, however, was a major factor in his decision to run. Also unknown to the rest of the world was a secret Ethel and RFK were closely guarding. She had just learned that she was pregnant with her 11th child. For dramatic effect, RFK had chosen to announce his great plan, which was televised nationally, from the same podium in the U.S. Capitol where his brother had announced his own candidacy. He told the world, "I run because I am convinced that this country is on a perilous course, and because I have strong feelings about what must be done to end the bloodshed in Vietnam and in our cities, to close the gaps between black and white, rich and poor, young and old, in this country and around the world." He was, he declared, in it to win. His campaign would last 85 days. Busy racing around the country with the candidate and rarely around to supervise her children, Ethel Kennedy had hired a 21-year-old former Boy Scout and college dropout by the name of Bob Galland and paid him $67.60 a week to help oversee her young tribe. It was an impossible task. He found them to be spoiled, arrogant, undisciplined know-it-alls. "You're talking to young Bobby, and he's just gotten back from Africa with Lem Billings, and I'm going, Jesus Christ, what am I going to teach this kid about, raccoons? None of my experience made any impression. They'd already done it all." While Ethel often proclaimed she wanted to be with her many children, she was rarely ever home. Others said that she was often absent, involved with political campaigns or other activities. Bobby and his brother David were usually without any familial adult supervision, virtually left to their own devices. Bobby still had about 3 more months remaining before finishing his freshman year, ninth grade, at